Dear, dear friends, you I can call friends with a free and an open heart, but not some people, names of which I will not mention. My neighbor, Mrs. Herman, for instance, and upstairs and downstairs. I'll tell you about it later. If I didn't appreciate you like I do, I wouldn't be here talking to you in my present mood.
Mama, darling, do you want me to?
Well, just tell what you found out in your biology class.
All right, Ma. Well, our teacher says that when we grow old, it's really that our body cells start to wear out.
Yes.
Our blood cells, too.
Yes, and for this, you know, you don't have to be so old.
No, that's right, Ma. You tell them.
Well, I'm not in the mood.
Well, these things can also happen because we're not getting enough thiamine and riboflavin, the vital elements in ribitol.
Yes. And what about the 22 elements in ribitol?
Sure, Ma. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not in the mood.
Well, if our cells need the vital elements in ribitol, it stands to reason that ribitol can make you feel like a new person, alive, full of energy, instead of feeling too tired too often.
No, so tell them about the special offer already.
Well, you do it, Ma.
Well, I'm not in the mood.
Well, I should think anybody would be in the mood for a bargain.
You're right, Rosalie. Now you can try ribitol free and see for yourself how much it may help you. Just do this. Buy the 100-size bottle of ribitol from your drugstore. And with it, you'll get this regular $1.98 size free. Try it for just 7 days. And if you don't feel wonderfully different and vitally alive and full of energy, return the 100 size and get your money back and keep the $1.98 size as a present. Try ribitol while the offer lasts. On my say-so, please.
Your bid, David.
Why don't you tell Ma?
Because I promised I wouldn't.
Well, it's $3.50.
I think somebody should tell her.
Now, listen, leave this to me. So you bid, David.
Well, I said $3.50, Jake.
Oh, you can have it.
Want some fruit, Ma?
No, thank you.
Pa, let's tell her.
No, absolutely not.
Mrs. Herman said it's got to be a secret. So they're all meeting in Mrs. Jerome's house because they want to make it a unanimous nomination for Mama for president for the Ladies' Auxiliary. That's why they wanted a private meeting with
Emily?
Yes, Ma?
Did you see mine history book?
No, I haven't, Ma.
Yeah, maybe it's in the fruit bowl, Molly.
Who puts history in a fruit bowl?
It is, Ma, here.
Are you going to do your homework now, Molly?
Yes, I have a little extracurricular to do, yes.
Do some extracurricular with us, Betty, dear.
Jake, please, I'm not in the best mood.
So come, we'll play the keyword game and you'll get in the mood.
You like the keyword?
Come, Molly. We'll play a little keyword and you know you'll feel much better. Come.
Vocabulary.
That's right.
You like vocabulary.
Sit down, dear. Yeah?
Mrs. Jerome invited me to her house for a luncheon, and she didn't invite my best friend. You can be assured that I would reject the invitation.
Listen, Molly, the world is made up of all kinds of people.
Everybody should be invited, and I should be so exclusive.
To us, you're not exclusive.
It's all right, Jake. Every experience is a lesson. From now on, my family will be like an iron curtain of steel. No penetration from people that call themselves friends. No more.
You don't know what it means to me to hear you say that, Molly.
It's all right. You suffered enough from my mixing and my mingling, and for what?
So let's play.
Here, dear. Let me put up the words for you.
It's all right. Thank you very much.
Peel, Mama, dear, an orange.
Thank you. Who has a family like my family? Mrs. Jerome, what has she got? A sinking living room. She talks about her sinking living room like you talk about the 4 diplomas that your solid doctor has.
A fine comparison.
Well, what else has she got to talk about?
Play, Ma.
Come play. You believe it? I have a headache from aggravation. Ma, I have so.
Just because she didn't invite you?
Not because. Because I'm disappointed in my best friend. That's why. That's the because. Everybody went. Everybody in the whole house. Even Dora's mother, your intended mother-in-law. Did anybody ring my bell or knock at my door and say, Mrs. Goldbergs, are you coming? Was you invited? Why, what? Oh, no. Oh, no. Excuse me. But when you're disappointed in people, what else is there in the whole world?
Trees, animals, husbands.
Jake, please. Don't add to my list of disappointments. Don't let me think that you don't have any feeling and understanding of the human heart. Please. Because if I thought so, that would be the last straw on the camel.
So where are you going?
I'm going to get a handkerchief.
Papa, darling, please, let's tell her.
I would, Pa.
I promised I wouldn't. What can I do?
Tell her, but it should be a secret.
Would you mind? Would you mind awfully, please, if I lie down a little bit? My head is trumping.
Molly, dear. Jake wants to tell you something.
It's all right, Jake. I'm sorry if I'm acting very juvenile. After all, I'm not a convalescent.
Adolescent, Ma.
Thank you very much. It would be better if I studied my vocabulary a little bit, instead of mixing like you always say. Oh, Jake, I know the folly of my ways.
Sit down, Molly.
Better lie down on my Castro.
Sit down before you lie down.
Jake wants to tell you something, Molly.
Yoo-hoo, Mrs. Goldbergs! See, that's you who I am not replying to. Yoo-hoo, Mrs. Goldbergs! Tell her I am indisposed. That's all. I'm not interested in Mrs. Jerome and how she served her raw d'oeuvres at the luncheon, or whether she has furniture and periods. I can sit on a chair without a period. I don't have to sit on Louis XIV. You, Mrs. Goldberg! Tell her, please, that I'm studying for my term paper and I do not want to be disturbed. Friends.
Well, Mrs. Goldberg is studying for the time papers, and she can't be disturbed.
Where is she? She got the nomination.
So come in.
I'm waiting for the girl. Close the window, there is a draft.
Well, I have to close the window, there's a draft.
Friendship. Friends. Take the telephone. If it's anybody, I'm not existing.
Hello?
Who?
Yes?
Well?
Yes, just a minute.
What?
Ma, it's Mrs. Jerome.
Oh, Ma, it's Mrs. Jerome. With such enthusiasm, Rosalie. Hang and say it's the wrong number.
Just a minute, Mrs. Jerome, please.
But she's apologizing because I wasn't on the list of invitations? Hank?
Oh, darling, Mom. Mrs. Jerome wants to tell her that she won the nomination.
Molly.
Molly, since when are you so unforgiving?
Just a minute, Mrs. Jerome. She's coming to the phone.
Forgive you, don't have to forget.
That's right.
I won't
David
hang
is
up
right.
on you.
All you have to do, Molly, is say hello. That's all. Just say hello.
Take it
Hello, Mrs. Jerome. That's all you have to
Take
say.
the...
Forgive. Won't forget.
Hello? Oh, yes. Oh, fine, thank you. Oh, perfectly. Yes. Yes, I hear you. Yes. Yes. Oh, mine. Oh, hold a minute, Mrs. Jerome. James! Oh, no, we want you for our next president.
Rosalie, did you see the book Mama's reading? Parliamentary Procedure.
Yes, Uncle David.
Can your Mama read such big words?
Of course she can.
Well, but the pronunciation won't be easy. Well, if you can say the same thing with little words, what do you need big ones for?
Well, I don't think a person should show off with big words, but they should know them.
Yeah?
Look, it helps you with crossword puzzles.
Oh.
Rosalie? Mama, darling.
Yes,
Did you
darling?
get the highest root beer
I got
and the French
everything. I got everything. I'm so late with my supper, darling, so late. Rosalie, dear, you'll get me an apron, yes, sweetheart?
All right.
Take me here. And here's a record, and don't break it. We'll play it when Papa dear comes home.
Okay.
Yes, darling? Oh, my.
Ma, tell me, what record is it?
Huh?
What record?
I made a record, Rosalie, darling, of my acceptance speech. And I'm going to play it back so I should hear it and make my proper connections and corrections, darling. Oh, Rosalie, darling, your mama's going to be a president.
Wonderful.
You'll be proud when your mama's a president, huh, darling, huh? Oh, my, who came in?
Me, Ma.
Oh, Samuel Bell, did you get it?
Yeah, I did, Ma.
Yeah? Oh, let me see quickly.
Did you make the record, Ma?
Oh, surely.
It's a lot of fun, isn't
Oh,
it?
it was wonderful.
Well, where is it? Let me hear
When
it.
Papa comes home, we'll play it as before. Let me see. Wait, that's the diction one, and this is the parliamentary one. Rosie, let me see the first lesson. Yeah, darling?
All right.
Let's see the first lesson.
When?
That's in the diction. When?
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 What?
What?
Where?
Where?
Why?
Why?
Now, new.
New.
Blue.
Blue, blue. That's how you say blue?
Blue.
Blue.
Hue.
Hue.
Mary's dress is of a new hue of blue.
Mary's dress is of a new blue hue.
Ipit, tippet.
Ipit, tippet.
Now say it quickly.
Quick.
Ipit, tippet.
It has an diction. Ipit, tippet, ipit, tippet, tippet, tippet. Now let me hear the parliamentary.
All right.
Let me hear. Parliamentary.
Obtaining the floor.
Yeah.
Before a member can make a motion or
Yeah.
address the assembly in debate,
Yeah.
he must first be able to show the group or panel
Yeah.
that what he has to say is
Wonderful.
fine.
Who came? Who?
Jay.
Jake? Oh, Papa's here. Hold the
Jake.
chapter.
All right.
Hold the chapter. Jake, darling? Oh, darling, supper's going to be a little detained, Jake, darling.
Listen, my dear, when a man has a president for a
Oh,
wife...
not yet. I'm only nominated.
Unanimously.
Oh, Jake, you're happy?
Very.
Proud?
I am.
So I'm not just a mixing spoon?
And a mixing spoon you never were.
I see.
Just a mixer.
Oh, thank you, darling.
I'm happy to see that at long last you're mixing in the right direction.
I'm trying.
Parliamentary procedure,
David.
Jake. Diction.
Yeah, that's all in the right direction. Your horizon will expand. Your contacts will go beyond your four walls. And that's
Sure.
something I always wanted.
I know.
You know that, Mom.
I do, Jake,
Hello,
darling.
Papa darling.
Rosalie.
Mama made a record.
Oh, what kind of a record?
Sammy, get me the little phonograph, yeah,
All right.
darling?
Hi, Hello, Sammy. What kind of a record?
Of my voice quality. Surely. Mrs. Roosevelt, she also took lessons. And when she started in public speaking, her voice was very soprano, darling. Very. Now she's an alto. You want to hear mine register?
Yeah, where's the record? Let me hear it.
Sammy, you got it ready? Yep. All right. Be careful. Put on a new needle. I shouldn't scratch.
That's a wonderful idea, to hear yourself as others hear you.
Wait. Don't put it on yet. I don't want anybody else to hear. Open the door. 1 minute. I don't want anybody else to hear. Oh.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Bragg.
Good evening, Mrs.
Why do I owe this unexpected?
Oh, I was just ordering some winter drapes in the neighborhood.
Oh.
Thought I'd drop in.
Oh, thank you. You know my family,
Yes,
Mr.
of
Goldbergs.
course.
My
Hello.
Uncle David.
How do you do?
Cousin Jeremy.
Mrs. Goldberg,
Yes.
do you think I could speak to you alone for a few minutes?
Why not? Would you mind coming in the kitchen?
Oh, please not.
Excuse us, please. I'm
Certainly.
so late with my supper, darling. I'm so late. If you'll excuse me, darling.
Yes, surely.
Yeah, what is it? Won't you sit down? Thank you. Look at my... Go. My French is mustard. Be careful.
Yes.
Something I can fix for
No,
you?
no, thank you, Mrs. Goldberg. Nothing.
Well, excuse me. I just have to put a light in the soup. I don't know what I would do without my pilot light.
That's what you'll be soon. The pilot light in Our Lady's Auxiliary. Always there, burning with enthusiasm.
Well, I hope I'll always keep the fire burning and the pot bubbling. I was so surprised when I got the nomination. You know, I really thought between you and me that you would get the nomination and you would be our president.
I need the nomination, Mrs. Goldberg. I need it desperately. If I didn't know that I could speak to you this way, I wouldn't be here. Mrs. Goldberg, could you decline the nomination? I don't know how much it means to you, but I can tell you what it would mean to me. Everything. My whole future depends on it. I don't have to tell you what my life has been. After being a widow for 8 years and finally meeting Mr. Honig, a man that at last I feel I could be happy with. And that wasn't easy for me, after being married to a man like Mr. Brandt. I don't want to lose him, Mrs. Goldberg. Philip and I have been seeing each other for about 1.5 years now, and I think he likes me. But there's something holding him back from asking me to marry him. And I know what it is.
What?
His first wife was very active. She was a very active member of the Ladies' Auxiliary and a lot of other organizations. And if I could be, in his eyes, as important as she was, if I were, for instance, president of the organization, I know it would make every difference. I know it. I feel it.
Well, I'll see Mrs. Brand. That's a big request. I mean, Will you have a prune? Stuffed?
Could you do it, Mrs. Goldberg? Is it very much to ask?
Well, I'll have to think about it, Mrs. Brandt.
You know, I never thought a woman could love twice in her life. But it's possible. I know that now.
Excuse me, my telephone. Come in.
Mrs. Goldberg, if it's asking too much...
Well, let me think about it. Yes, Mrs. Brandt. Who was it, Jake?
Wrong number.
Oh. Well, Mrs. Brandt, I'll call you.
Thank you, Mrs. Goldberg.
I'll call you.
Good night, Good night, Mrs. Brand.
Good night. What did she want?
You want to hear the record?
What a question, of course.
My dear fellow girls, if I am elected to this esteemed and honored office, you can have mine assurance that I will approach my office with trembling footsteps, but with a stout heart. The reign of mine term in office will be devoted to my duty to my fellow girls in making this the foremost ladies' auxiliary, not only of this vicinity, but in the four corners of the Bronx. The honor you have bestowed on me has made me speechless, so let me say only a few more words. Your humble servant, I remain respectfully and yours truly, Molly Goldberg.
In just a moment, we'll return to the Goldbergs. But first, here is an important message.
Fabulous vitamin offer. In a moment, you'll learn how to get free a regular $1.98 bottle of famous Ributol Gelu-Caps. But first, meet Mrs. Mildred Fazen of Bayside, New York.
I was always so haggard and irritable. My druggist suggested Ributol, and since taking it, I feel like a new person.
Mrs. Fazen was not getting enough thiamine and riboflavin from her food. If for this same reason you too feel tired and worn out, Ributol can help you. That's why the Vitamin Corporation of America is giving away millions of regular $1.98 bottles of Ributol free. When you buy this 100-size bottle, you get the regular $1.98 Ributol at no extra cost. You must feel stronger, peppier in 7 days, or keep the $1.98 size as a gift and return the 100 size for full cash refund. You may never know how good you can feel until you've tried Ributol. Offer limited. Get your free Ributol now.
And now, back to the Goldbergs.
Hello? Is this Mrs. Brandt's residence? This is Mrs. Goldberg speaking. Well, didn't she come back here? This is the 4th time I'm calling. Well, will you please tell her to call me that it's most imperative and urgent? Yes. Do you have my name? Mrs. Goldberg. Just Goldberg, 1038 East Tremont Avenue. Yes. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
If a man loves a woman, why does she have to be president? Why?
Because not all men are made out of the same pattern, David. I told you that. Please. Mr. Honeck is the kind of a man that wants to look up to a woman. His first wife, I told you, was very active in all organizational work. And if he marries again, he'll only make comparisons with the first wife and the second wife.
So why does it concern you?
Because I made my decision.
And I say it's the wrong decision.
Please, David, please. After all, some men like a wife that the whole world looks up to.
That's not love.
Well, not all love is the same, and not everybody loves the same. David, you want to hear my letter of resignation to my true sister?
I don't want to hear.
Please, David.
I don't want to hear.
Dear true sister.
I'm not listening.
Ladies auxiliary.
I wouldn't listen. I'm not listening.
To say the honor.
I am not listening.
No. So don't listen.
Not listening.
So don't listen.
I wouldn't listen, so I wouldn't listen. Not listening. Now listen.
Uncle David,
Hmm?
where's Mama? I just got this at the library for public speaking.
Well, you can take it back. Mama wouldn't need it anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, Mama's resigning.
Why is she resigning, Uncle David?
Papa didn't say anything, did he?
Of course he didn't.
Well, here is a letter that Mama resigned. Here it says, Dear True Sisters, Ladies Auxiliary, to say the honor bestowed on me by you, so
unanimously. Did less than break my heart from pride and joy would be far underneath the truth.
Truth.
For reasons known to myself alone, I am forced to resign.
With regret, so regretful
that my pen refuses to go further.
Take the letter and make the corrections.
Gee, Ma, what?
Why, Ma? What reason?
Mrs. Brent is the reason.
Make the grammatical corrections and get a stamp and mail it.
No, I won't, Ma. Not until you give us a good reason why you did it.
Well, Mrs. Brent is Mama's reason. Mama's making Mrs. Brent a president.
Yeah, on a silver platter, Uncle Dave.
I'd like to know why, Ma.
Why? Some reasons you have to live a little bit longer to understand, darling, my dear.
Oh, I see. We're still babies in an incubator. We don't know life yet. We don't go to the movies. We don't watch television. We don't write books. We're just babes in the woods.
Quiet and silence. Quiet and silence. Suffice it, my dear, please, that her need is greater than mine. Is that a reason thereon? Please. Now get washed, and please get dressed. And get ready for supper. Go on. I said supper.
And you're mailing the letter with all the grammatical errors?
I'm mailing the letter, yes. And with all the grammatical errors. Maybe they'll see that I wasn't the right person for the president, David.
Hello, Jake.
Hello, David. Well, how is my dear Mrs. President? Molly, may I present you with a gift from me to you?
Jake, thank you.
Open it and you'll see.
On a plain Tuesday, a present. Oh, gravel. Thank you, Jake.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
What is it?
I can't see it and I can't watch it.
Will somebody enlighten me, please?
There is only one person that can enlighten you unless she changes her mind. Well, Molly, dear?
Mail the letter.
Not me.
What letter?
I'm resigning.
From what?
From nothing, because I wasn't anything yet. And if she can be something, let her be, because it's her future.
If somebody will please unravel that jungle of words, I would be very obliged.
One of Molly's fellow sisters wants to become president because she thinks by being a president, the man that she's keeping steady company with will change her name from Mrs. Brand to Mrs. Honig. So Molly's giving her the nomination, and she's making her president with a silver spoon in her mouth.
Huh? You were a mixing spoon, you are a mixing spoon, and you'll never be anything else but a mixing spoon.
Thank you.
Come
the
in.
door.
Huh?
Oh, come
Good
in.
evening. I'm Mr. Honig.
Oh, Mr. Honig, Ma.
Mr. Honig.
Oh.
I don't think we've ever met.
Oh.
I'm a friend of Mrs. Brand.
Oh, friend of Mr. Brand. Mrs. Brand, Sir Jake.
Oh, how do you do?
Mr.
How do you do,
Goldbergs,
Mr.
my
Honig?
Uncle David,
How do you do?
Rosalie.
How do you do?
There was a very urgent message at Mrs. Brand's apartment.
Oh, yes.
But I was a little concerned.
Oh, won't you sit down, please?
Thank you. Can
yes.
you tell me what it is?
Well, my wife, Mrs. Goldberg.
Well, you see, if the message seemed urgent, it wasn't intended so. It was just about the ladies' auxiliary.
Oh, the ladies' auxiliary.
Yes, you see, she's a very active member.
Yes, I know.
Yes, most active.
I don't understand why she should give all her time. I had 10 years of that with my first wife. It wasn't easy. Some men like that kind of activity, not me. It was no life. Unfortunately for me, I had to meet Mrs. Brand, a woman with the same ambitions. Committee meetings, speeches, appointments. 10 years was enough. Too bad. Aside from that, she's a wonderful woman.
Wonderful woman. Excuse me, my dog.
I'll take it.
One second.
Come in.
It's extremely wonderful.
Yes.
Good evening.
Oh, hello.
I got your message, Mrs.
yes.
Why, hello, Philip.
Hello, Pauline. The message seemed so urgent and you were not home.
Oh, that's all right.
Mrs. Brand,
I may have some very exciting news.
May I see you a minute?
Shall I tell him something of what may happen?
This time, Matthew,
Yes,
please. excuse us?
Certainly.
Mrs. Brand.
What's wrong?
Mrs. Brandby, listen.
But you haven't changed your mind.
No, but I think you have to change your mind.
How could I when so much depends on it?
Mr. Honeck wants a wife, not a president.
How do you know that?
Because I heard it with my own ears.
What did he say? How did he say?
Well,
What else did he say?
Molly,
Yes.
where are the wine glasses?
The wine glasses, right here. Here.
Thank you, Molly, dear.
Yes, and the Smirnoff vodka this time. Don't worry.
Tell me
Sit down.
what he said. Sit down.
Mr. Honeck.
Yes.
Come, let's have a little wine. Huh?
Thank you.
Mr. Honeck,
Mr. Honeck.
may I be so bold as to ask a question?
Why not?
How is it you never told the lady your views?
Well, I don't think it's fair or right to impose my views on another person. It may create resentment on her part. And frankly speaking, Mr. Goldberg, that is the reason why I did not ask her to marry me.
Phyllis! Mrs. Goldberg is running for president of the Ladies Auxiliary. You
wonderful.
certainly have my vote, Mrs. Goldberg.
Thank you.
Much rather you than me. I am giving up all my organizational
Oh,
activity.
Pauline, you make me so happy.
Yes, I'm through with it all. It's always been my opinion that once a woman is married, she should devote herself exclusively to her husband.
Oh, I'm glad we both agree on that.
Shall we go, Phyllis?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye, Mr. Honeck. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mr.
Bye.
Honeck. Bye-bye. Well, I hope we get an invitation to the wedding. Wait.
Bye.
Maybe you should send the resignation.
Why?
So you could devote yourself exclusively to me.
Oh, Jake, and I wouldn't. Well, I'll be president yet. Well, friends, tonight is the last time this season I'll be talking to you about my ribitol. But one little thought I'd like to leave with you, and I'm speaking to you as one friend to another. Try my ribitol. Believe me, you may never know how good you can feel until you do. Especially now when you get the $1.98 size free with the 100 size bottle of ribitol. So what can you lose? And now I want to thank you for every member of our family. Jake, Rosalie, Sammy, Uncle David, Mrs. Herman, for coming to visit with us. We laughed a little, we cried a little. So think of my ribitol and think of us. Because we'll be back with you very soon again on the Milton Berle Show, November the 16th. And it's like I said to my auxiliary, your humble servant, I remain respectfully and yours truly, Molly Goldberg. And I want Jake to say goodbye and good night. Uncle David, come here, my darling.
Good night.
Good night. And Rosalie and family, good night.
Good night.
And there'll be a wonderful story in the Ladies' Home Companion, the Women's Home Companion next month.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
See you soon. Follow Pro Football.